Hello again, this is LA Dan. Rashida! Rashida, you finally went and talked to an investigator? You only been talking to one for about a year. In fact, you originally talked about a an attorney and an investigator. Well, first of all, I'm going to say I don't agree with the personal harassment and the death threats. I will never agree to that. But the other things are trolls. And there's not much you can do about trolls. And it's not against the law to troll you. Just because they hurt your fifis doesn't matter. It's still legal. But you're going to take it and try to take everybody to court like you did Dr. Computer Shop. And when you lose enough money and you're on here begging for money to go pay people and you lose, well, what are you going to lose? You have nothing. Now, going after Tommy, I'm going to say you have about a 60-40, about a 60-40 split. Maybe 70-30, 25. I'm going to say 70-25% chance of winning that. More in Tommy's favor than yours. But hey, you want to keep saying that people are going to get arrested and stuff. I really don't see that happening. I don't care how hard you push. It's still the internet. It's still legal. And you want to bring up, it's in our Constitution. Well, yeah, but so is theirs. But the death threats and stuff isn't. Now, those, yeah, by all means, pursue that. Even though you're going to spend all this money and everything. And I think at the end of the day, when everything's said and done, I don't think that one person is going to be arrested. And I don't think that you taking anybody to court is going to take it and do you any good. If you want to be the most influential person, you're still going about it the wrong way like you do everything else. But hey, I could be wrong too. Because you're saying the pursuit of justice. This all started because you did an interview that went left. And you saying that you got attacked, Tommy asked you if you would take questions. That wasn't being ambushed, is what you said. You weren't ambushed. You were asked. And you always say that, you can hold your own. Well, you didn't hold your own that night. By any stretch of the imagination. And then you going after Tommy because you wanted him to take it down. you know, he just asked for money to take it down, and you didn't want to give him any. Tommy does that stuff to make a living, just like you're trying to do, other than he's more successful at it. Sometimes I wonder how, but he is. I mean, you can't deny that. So, and you want to show all these receipts. You're saying, you're the queen of receipts. You have all these receipts. You have all these documents. Well, they're not documents. Other, what you call the cops about. But, yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Most people don't understand about how much money it does cost to take people to court. And the justice system is set up that way. Or not the justice system, the legal system is set up that way. Because it makes you pay all this money to go to court. Because the court system doesn't want you in there to begin with. That's why it's so expensive. That's why attorneys are expensive. That's why investigators are expensive. And that's for the people that don't really understand that kind of stuff. Because I said a year ago that if you're going to take somebody to court, it's going to take a lot of money. And I think at the time, I told you it was going to cost between $50,000 to $100,000 to do it. Yeah, and I'm still at that price. And the more you want to bring in, the more it costs. But see, so far you've taken Tommy that I know of into court for a restraining order 3 times, and you've lost 3 times. And now you've changed it over to just suing him about your intellectual property. Well, I'm saying, you still have between slim and no chance of winning. Of doing that. Still just my opinion, but that's what I think. And the one thing I'll say about the stream that you did is that at least you were honest that you were just begging for money. And that shouldn't really be anybody's surprise because you do that all the time. Beg for money. You beg for money to take it into your play. So, but you want to have people have sympathy for you. You want to say that you're fighting for the black woman and that the justice system is against you. Well, no, it's not against you because of your color. I think the fact is that the justice system is just so full that they don't really care. You got all these other YouTubers that are, saying that they're going to go through the legal system. And that's all fine and dandy about suing people, except for, like I said, it takes a lot of money for very little gain. Even if you win, then you got to worry about collecting the money. And that's a whole different story in itself about collecting the money after you win and get a judgment. Because everybody thinks just because you win and you get this judgment that they're just going to pay. And it don't not work that way. Now, I don't know the ending details of when you sued Google and YouTube and Dr. Computer Shop, but I do know that you lost with Dr. Computer Shop to where you wanted to drop it, and you were worried about them going after you for the attorney fees and everything. And I really hope that they did go after you for their attorney fees and everything. And then you wanted to take and block people and saying, well, that you were going to go after them too. Well, if you block them, if you watch it on the replay, that stuff's no longer there. So how are you going to take and find out who it is? Again, you have to turn around and sue Google to get the information, because Google's just not going to take and hand over that information. Or YouTube, which is virtually one and the same. So I just wanted to point that out. And then we get back to your GoFundMe. Now you're claiming that you're $405 away from $10,000. Well, I can pretty much guarantee that you've already used that $9,500 you've already used. But just to have the money go in there is probably all that you're counting for. Because I'm sure that $10,000 ain't there. Where you can just go, when it hit 10,000, you go take the money out. But I do know one thing: as soon as it hits 10,000, you're going to turn it into 20,000 after that. And you still got that $1 million one that you got there too on the GoFundMe. So, anyway, I just thought I'd make this and point some stuff out to her. But at least you went and talked to an investigator. He used to work for the FBI. Like that means something. That might mean something to you, but it don't mean anything to people who understands the way the system works. I don't care that he worked for the FBI. Makes zero shits to me. He's just another person that's got a shingle on his wall that says investigator. Big deal. I've been there and done that too. Doesn't impress me. But anyway, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and leave a comment. This is LA Den signing out.